Yes, we will. So, all right. Well, let's get to, I guess, the main part here, which is our stay over at the Grand Floridian. So this was birthday, Jamie's bucket list. So it's like, hey, let's go do this. So we're going to go through a little bit about
the hotel,
and then we'll go into the room and all that stuff like that. So do you want to go a little history lesson?
A little history for you?
Of
sure.
Grand Floridian?
Sure. So this opened June 28th, 1988. So it is 36 years old now. And it is opened as Grand Floridian Beach Resort. And it was Disney World's fourth resort hotel or resort area after Polynesian, Contemporary, and Fort Wilderness. It is Disney's flagship resort. It is in the deluxe category, and the vibe is very Victorian beach resort with influences taken from Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California, Mount Washington Resort in New Hampshire, and Bellevue Biltmore Hotel here in Florida. So if you look at pictures of those hotels or you've been there, you can definitely see those influences.
I can see a lot of Coronado. I mean, we stayed at Coronado back when
we did.
Your old boss took us out there and we stayed. And we didn't stay there.
We didn't stay there.
Ate there.
We had dinner there, but we have visited.
That was the very first time it was mandatory valet.
Yes.
And I remember I was like, oh, and then your boss was like, I got it covered. And I was like, I don't know what to do here.
I know. That we had been married for what, like 2 years at that point.
It
like
that
we
long.
were, it was early in our marriage, but like that was pretty fun.
He kept slipping me money.
Yeah.
He like knew we were broke. He's like, here. Like every time he'd shake my hand, it was like a 20. And I think by the end of the trip, he'd give me like $200.
We were like in our 20s and like, you know.
It was very nice, but it was one of those places where I was just like, I do not belong here, but I will. Yeah.
It was fun though. It was really fun.
You can see a lot of the influences of that hotel in this.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you look at Mount Washington Resort specifically, looks more like it.
Okay.
In my opinion, but that's just
Gotcha.
me. And time period wise, it feels somewhere between 1890 to 1910, somewhere in there. And if you've heard the whole thing about it's supposed to mirror some of the lands that are in Magic Kingdom. So like Polynesian is supposed to kind of mirror Adventureland.
Right.
Contemporary is supposed to mirror Tomorrowland. Grand Floridian is supposed to mirror Main Street, USA. And they think Main Street USA takes place about 1895.
Yeah.
That's like the time period. So that's about what we're working with here.
Okay.
Here's some fun facts for you, Jared.
I do love fun facts.
So there was an Asian-inspired resort that was originally supposed to go in the spot. And it was far enough along in planning that the land was even prepped for it. And at like, I think the old photos from like 84, 85, maybe 86, you can see it's this big square, like piece of dirt, like where the hotel was going to go, because it was, again, Asian, like Thai, Asian inspired building. So you can see that in the old photos, and they kind of like added to that, which is, I think, the reason for why it's arranged the way it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The hotel only took 2 years to build. So they started in April of 86 and they finished in June of 88. That's pretty quick.
For Disney, that's very cool.
Well, it's in the 80s. Too.
Yeah.
And it cost $135 million to build.
Okay.
That's just some information for you, if you will.
Well, yeah, and speaking of the Asian inspired hotel, they still from time to time do soil tests to see, because the rumor has been for a long time they want to build another hotel along that area around the Monorail area and like TTC and stuff like that. So that, but one of the reasons they haven't is because the soil there wasn't the best for it. So they still do tests on that. So they could at some point.
The piece of land between TTC and Contemporary, there is enough space for it, but the soil is not good.
And if they build it, it'll cost you $9,000 a night.
Probably. At this point, probably.
You think I'm crazy, but
yeah.
We'll know. Who knows? But anyway, those are fun facts there. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of the highlights of this hotel. Which one I think would be the lobby? It's very fancy-ish. I don't think. It's not. Well, it's a fancy lobby. I guess this comes out. A lot of the Grand Floridian comes down to like your aesthetic of choice. Mm-hmm. Has kind of a country clubbish vibe. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. I like it. It's got a lot of off-whites. I wouldn't say whites, like off-whites.
It makes me think of the Titanic.
A little bit, yeah,
Right?
that same style motif there. So the lobby it's got a piano in there. It's got that bird cage.
Elevator. The
Yeah.
birdcage elevator.
And they had the bird cage across from the elevator.
Well, yeah, but I mean the elevator also looks like a birdcage.
It does look like a bird cage.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like in the holiday times, like Christmas, they've got the gingerbread house in there and stuff like that. So I like the lobby. They got that big chandelier up top, like very fancy
The
chandelier.
grand staircase that makes me think of when DJ saw Steve coming down the staircase in the Full House episode. I'm telling you, like that's ingrained in my brain. Ingrained
You
in
didn't
my
say
brain.
anything about that.
Why do you think I wanted a picture on the staircase?
I thought maybe you just thought it was a nice staircase.
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir. I'm living the dream.
Okay. But yeah, and then you've got, we'll go through some of the areas here. Now, it's not a very big resort. I think that's something that is a little surprise. I kind of knew that going in, but once you stay here, you realize, like, it's not that big. Like, everything kind of close together there.
It's great.
Yeah, so everything, even if you're a faraway building, everything's pretty easily accessible.
Yes.
Like, I had to walk to the parking lot a couple times, get things from the car, and it was, no matter where I was at, it was like a 5-minute walk. So
Yeah, and even though the villas are kind of, on the other side of the pool and kind of off to the side here, it's still not that far away from the lobby. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They do have some dining on property.
Some of the best dining on property, in fact.
So they say.
So they say.
So you have 5 table service restaurants. So you've got Victoria and Albert's, Citricos, Narcoossee's, 1900 Park Fair, and Grand Floridian Cafe.
It's a lot of table service restaurants.
It is a lot of table service.
Yeah.
You have 1 quick service with Gasparilla Island. You have 3 bars and lounges, 2 pool bars, and then in that included is 2 pool bars and then Enchanted Rose. So you've got plenty of food and drink options, especially for a smaller hotel. It's a lot of options you have around this, which is good. I mean, it's on the monorail loop, so even people that aren't staying at the hotel.
You know what's something I do miss is something I'd like to do with our daughter eventually, if she would want to do it, and if they ever bring it back, would be that afternoon tea thing they do. You used to be able to have the afternoon tea with like Cinderella. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I wish they would bring something like that back or something similar to it.
They have not contacted me about this.
No, they haven't.
They know I'm a big tea person though. Like you
Okay.
frequented our other ones many times.
Okay.
They also have 4 shops. So you have Basin, Sandy Cove Gifts and Sundries. We have M Mouse Mercantile. Either way, you know what I mean. And how do you say the last one here?
Curiouser Clothiers.
There you go. I just call it CNC.
Okay.
I don't really even call it that. So yeah, those are the shopping options you have. Then you have the beach pool and the Alice in Wonderland splash pad.
Mm-hmm. The splash pad is really cute. It looks like the Mad Hatter's hat. Dumps water on to the kids and everything. I mean, it's not very big, but it's cute. It dumps a lot of water.
It does dump a lot of water.
Our son didn't want to leave, and our daughter just wanted to do the slide at the beach pool, which is fine.
I will say the main pool there, not the biggest.
It's pretty small, but again, the resort itself is not very big.
So you can get away with it. So just as much. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's not a lot smaller than the Polynesian, but it is smaller than the Polynesian pool, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But neither one of those are like huge pools. But again, they don't have a lot of rooms, so that's another thing too. And like a highlight here is you're close to Magic Kingdom,
so close.
You can walk, take the monorail. You've got the boat launch. You can also go to Epcot from here, bus transportation. So you got a lot of ability to get around different places pretty easily. You've got the wedding pavilion if you want to go over there.
I mean, that's a highlight for me. I almost was like, I want to go look at it, but
you can just run over there and just have your own little ceremony real quick.
Yeah, but having like your wedding at Disney, I did a Trip Tales 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was maybe longer than that. She had her wedding at the wedding pavilion, and it was a really cool episode to listen to. So, yeah, I want to see it sometime.
Okay.
Okay.
And you also you can watch the Happily Ever After fireworks show over here as well. Like you can have the Polynesian, they pump the music in. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of right in front of the Gasparilla Island quick service place right there. Oh,
yeah. You can watch there. You can watch at the boat docks. You can watch in front of Narcoossee's. There's a lot of places you can watch the fireworks from here and still hear it. Yeah. And you're actually close enough to Magic Kingdom where even if they don't pump the music in, you can hear a little bit from actual Magic Kingdom.
You could, yeah. If they didn't pump it in, you could.
Yeah. But we liked sitting in front of Gasparilla Island because there's places you can sit and like there's nothing obstructing you in front of that. So I was like, I like that. So
yeah. And when you're done, for the first time, we actually were able to just walk back. Like that was the best getting done with a fireworks show ever, just walking straight back to the room.
The best. That was a nice
perk.
I was like, are we ready to go to bed? Great. Let's just walk
to
our room over here.
Yeah. but that's the highlights. I mean, it's a pretty resort. I mean, the buildings are really pretty, so it's a pretty place to just walk around and do all that. I did check out the gym, very basic gym. So nothing. It's basically just like any of the premieres. So
I figured like just basic stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So all right. Well, that's all the highlights and things. So we'll talk about our stay, and then we'll give our thoughts about some things here. So we checked in around 1:30 in the afternoon on Sunday, and our room was actually ready.
Yep. And I wanted to not do online check-in because I wanted to make sure we could get our buttons, our birthday buttons down, and I was gonna have to go down there anyway. So I was like, I'll just wait. But yeah, we all got birthday buttons, and we had to wear them, and everybody said happy birthday, and then they would see we all four had buttons. I'm like, yep, everybody's birthday. All four of us.
For those that don't know, not only Jamie and I have our own our share birthdays in the month, our children all have July birthdays as well. So
their birthdays are next week.
It's like a mid-year Christmas, really.
It is. That's true. We have 2 Christmases a year.
Kind of, yeah. A little bit.
Kind of.
A little bit there. But I know one thing I will say, the staff was very, very like accommodating and nice.
They're great.
Nice. I mean, Disney staff typically is. Anyways, I've never really encountered like bad service at the hotels per se, but over here it was very accommodating. Like bell services, we did use bell services.
Oh yeah, we never use bell services, by the way.
It's not never. It's just we don't typically. We usually just don't have cash.
I know. And I was like, I have cash this time. And I was like, I feel fancy. Let's be fancy. So I was like, let's use it.
I'm super fancy.
And it was great. We didn't have to take all of our stuff to a room by ourselves. This is how like some people do it already. So I'm not saying anything new. But for us, it's a new thing.
Yes.
Newish.
It was, well, we'd done before, but it was nice. They were very quick. And as soon as we like called either taking it to the room or coming and pick it, because we had them also pick it up when we checked out because we weren't going to leave immediately. They were there within like 5 minutes. So
it was great.
Very, very accommodating there. Our room was over in Big Pine Key, which is the building there.
So this is, if you're not familiar with the way Grand Floridian kind of functions now, is they have the whole hotel section and they've got the villas in a different building. Well, they took one of the hotel buildings and transformed it into a villa. So Big Pine Key, which is technically in the hotel section, is now villas, and those have the like resort studios and not deluxe studios. And there is a difference. So like with a deluxe studio, you're going to have like a queen bed, you're going to have the Murphy bed pull down, and you're going to have that 5th sleeper that comes out. And then you've got like, you've got the sink, you've got some plates and silverware, and you've got microwave and coffee maker, all that stuff. So you have like another section for that. When a resort studio, you have 2 queen beds. You've got the pull down 5th sleeper still, but you don't have a sink. You just have a microwave. You have the cooler fridge, and the coffee maker, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So it's like a little bit different. Like you're getting a little bit less, but you still have great views of the lagoon. We had a lagoon view, which was good, and we were closer to the lobby. So I actually, I didn't mind. I didn't mind that at all.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. The view was cool. Yeah, having the lagoon view like that was very cool.
We could see Polynesian and the construction very well.
Yes. Yeah. And the glorious Marriott that they're building right there.
Yeah.
So we'll give final thoughts when that thing's done. But as of right now, it's just going to look like a Marriott. All right. Well, let's talk about the room.
Okay.
Now these looked very newly renovated.
2022.
Yeah.
Is when they were renovated, so about 2 years ago. These are 440 square feet. They are some of the biggest rooms on Disney property.
They were a good size, yeah.
Well, the villas are smaller because they were built later.
Right.
But these, since they were transformed from hotel rooms to DVC, They are bigger.
It's almost like they used to make rooms bigger back in the day,
Sure
and then they
did.
realized we can squeeze people into less space, but put more
true.
rooms and make more money.
It's true.
I
It's true.
listen. You can listen to my hotel conspiracy podcast later.
And we did rent points from a DVC owner for this stay. So just by the way, we're not DVC members. Wait.
Yes.
It's okay.
No, we stole them from them actually.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, the room, I would say this is a very close feel to Riviera. I like Riviera's rooms more still than this, but this is very similar.
Very light and bright, lots of white and like light blues, florals. It was Mary Poppins themed basically. It looked like, there's like pictures on the wall. There was accents like penguins and her umbrella.
The
on
chandelier,
different
the lighting up there had penguins.
Yeah,
on
the
light fixture
pillows
as well.
had her like leaves, stuff like was blowing, like the wind was blowing, and her
Yeah.
umbrella. Yeah, it was just touches here and there, which was really cool.
The shower was really nice. I did like the shower.
Yes, shower was good. It was a tub shower combo. I don't know if all the other rooms have the same, or if it's just showers. Sometimes they do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know, but like it's the layout is, it's a 2 queen beds. It has the 5th sleeper pull down, which our daughter slept in that. We each got a bed, and then our son sleeps on this little blow up bed because he needs his own space. But it worked out just fine.
He
They
does
sat right next
great.
to him.
There's plenty of room for that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, there was plenty of room between the bed and like the dresser. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, talk about the plugins.
Well, I was gonna say there's a lot of I'm trying to think in the room. There's probably almost 8 to 10 of them, but like USB, not only USB plugins, power plugins, but also USB-C outlets as well.
Yeah.
USB-C is becoming very it's going to replace regular USB probably in the next 5 years for sure. So you had your center area. There was one on each side. So instead of having to fight for one up top, you got your 2 beds. You got one on each side there. There was one on the other sides of the bed. And then you had one on each side of the main dresser. There was one.
There's a lot.
There was more. There was quite a few in the room. So there's plenty of outlets and USB-C, USB, and power outlets. Did have the smart TV that had our names welcoming us and things like that. The room wise, again, it's not like a different setup per se, but it did have nice, elements to it, nice little fixtures, and I liked it. Again, I would probably say in terms of nice rooms we've stayed at, this is probably top 5 for sure.
Oh, for sure.
I think I still like Riviera's the most, but that's one of the one of the newer ones, but this one is up there.
When you first walk in, there's a long table with like a long seat, like a stool.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool, and
I could have used for more seating though, like a table.
Yeah. So if you remember our review about Boulder Ridge Villas, that was the first time we had been in a room that had been recently renovated that didn't have chairs. They just had stools that went up to the coffee table. And that was where you were supposed to sit. And this was the same kind of thing. So they had a table that you could put in front of the couch.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's all the seating we get. Okay. Duly noted. And then we got that stool that pulls out in that table right when you walk in the entryway. So yeah, that was probably my only complaint with that room.
Yeah,
but that's just a style choice for me, I guess.
It's a style thing. I like having a dedicated table for different things. If you want to do work or if the kids need a place to sit and eat and stuff like that, I do think it gives you a little bit more
chairs, man.
It gives you some flexibility. But yeah, and we also did have a balcony.
Yeah,
with a cool view that we could look at stuff. We didn't really use it because again, it has the metal chairs, and it was really hot.
It was very hot.
If it was been nicer weather out, I probably would have taken advantage of it. But I did not feel like being in the heat.
2 things I really liked that we didn't mention yet is the archway from the entryway into the sleeping area.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was really pretty. I don't know, it's very simple, but that's like a nice little arch. It wasn't just like a square you're walking through. It had a nice little arch,
right?
And the mirror had the good lighting. Good lighting for the mirror.
That's true. It did have that nice mirror. Yeah,
double sinks and all that stuff. So beautiful room, like absolutely beautiful. Is it my favorite room we stayed in? It's not.
Well, I was gonna say, where do we put this?
So my favorite room that I've ever stayed in at Disney is at Riviera.
Agreed.
Like 100%. Those rooms are absolutely gorgeous. So that's still my number one.
I think my number two is Poly. The old,
my gosh.
the old Studio Poly room.
I really like those.
Well, they're so much bigger. You got that extra space and a little extra
You got the extra bathroom in that one too. Yeah, I mean, Poly would be my second, and this is probably going to be my third. This is probably going to be my third.
I am a little spoiled.
When
we stayed at Beach Club a few years ago, we got upgraded to was it a one bed? Yeah, one bedroom. I really like the Beach Club rooms. I would say easily this falls into top 5, which you would assume. But yeah, I mean, I liked it again, but I would say it's not my favorite.
Yeah,
we've stayed at.
So, you asked me before, like, what I thought about the resort in general and everything. I have to say, like, this is a very beautiful resort, and I understand why it's the flagship resort, and it deserves to hold that title, I think. However, my aesthetic is not this Victorian setting. Like, that's not, like, my favorite thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we really enjoyed our stay. We really liked everything. It was beautiful.
Don't speak for me. I'll let you know how I feel.
I really enjoyed our stay. I thought it was beautiful. But if I'm categorizing, like if I'm putting everything in like one, if I'm ranking them, Poly and Riviera are right up there. I don't know. I have a hard time between those two. I think Poly is still my first, and then Riviera is my second. But I like the Riviera rooms better. Sorry, that's confusing.
A lot of hand motions over here if you guys are watching.
Sorry.
If you guys are listening, you're missing out.
Sorry. So Poly first, Riviera, and then Wilderness Lodge is my number 3.
Yeah.
I would probably put Grand Floridian because I like Boardwalk too. I would put Grand Flo in my top 5. Sure.
Yeah.
I would probably put it number 5.
I mean, it does have monorail access to Magic Kingdom. That is a plus.
Gosh, that is the best.
That's a big plus.
That was great. Getting up,
please
stop doing that. Getting up and them getting our luggage, getting on the monorail, and just one stop over to Magic Kingdom was like the best. It was like the best. I was like, this is like what it felt like when I was a kid. You know, like when we would stay, like we stayed at Contemporary when I was a kid. We could just like walk over.
Right.
You know, like it felt really cool. Like I felt like, I feel like, you know, not fancy per se, but just, it was just very convenient. And then when we came back, you know, we decided to take the resort monorail around and go almost all the way back to the Magic Kingdom, but not quite. That was basically for our kids, and because they like the monorail. So
True.
It was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was great.
I like Grand Floridian. It's very, like, in terms of my aesthetic, it is probably not that. I would agree.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's very Main Street like. I can't say Victorian era type things are like my bag per se. I just use bag, and that was a weird way to say that, like I'm Austin Powers.
Wow.
I would agree. I think I like Riviera, Polynesian. I probably would put Beach Club in 3. So Grand Floridian fits somewhere in the top 5, I would say. Now, obviously, it's very nice, and a lot of the things that are benefits of the resort, like you can also access these pretty easily because it's on the monorail loop. You can go over from Magic Kingdom and hop on and go eat at the places or go walk around the grounds. Like, you know, you technically can't swim. You're not supposed to, but you know, access to the pools and stuff like that. But you can get a lot of the things. Now, it was nice being able to just be done, watch the fireworks and go straight to the room. That was nice.
It was very nice.
Is it worth the money you would pay typically to stay here? I don't know if I would agree. I think to me, like, I would still prefer, like, I love Wilderness Lodge. Just the entire aesthetic of the resort, the rooms. Like, I love it. And that one would probably go, actually, if I'm thinking like number 3.
You're checking that. See, that's my number 3, man. Well, that's my number 3.
Maybe you stole it from me. So, I mean,
I think you stole it from me.
Who stole who from what? Who knows?
I said it first, man.
I was born first, and you tried to steal my birthday.
Wow.
I'm just saying. So, it's definitely a top 5 in terms of like what you would pay normally to stay here. I don't know if I would say, it's hard to say worth it. Worth it is subjective to like what you want and things like that. Great service. Enjoyed our stay. For me, it's probably like I would rather stay at other places probably versus this again. Because again, a lot of the things I like about it, we can just hop over and do.
And just visit.
Yeah.
Right.
And check out. So
But the room was so pretty.
It is very pretty.
Yeah.
And like we had a great time, and it was a good birthday, and I'm glad you got to check it off your bucket list and do all that.
Checked it off.
And that's what you wanted to do for your birthday and everything. So enjoyed our stay. It was nice. Felt fancy. Felt very fancy. But yeah. So all in all, I mean, solid and basically what I was expecting.
Okay.
But so yeah.
Fair enough.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just happy, grateful we got to do it.
What would you give it on like 1 to 10?
As the best hotel?
Just in general.
I would give our room like, oh, you mean all over?
Sure.
All overview. I would give it, I mean, it was a solid 8.5.
I was thinking 8. Like
solid.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't. It wouldn't be for sure like a value, but
no pricing ways. No.
Yeah, but it's a solid. Yeah, it's a good hotel, and I will say, and again, the staff was very extra. I don't want to say extra. They were just very accommodating and nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. So mentioned birthdays all the time. They saw the buttons. Yes. The kids got lots of compliments on the button, happy birthdays and everything like that. So
yes, no, we're very grateful to be able to stay here. Very, very happy that we liked it, and will we stay here again soon? Probably not. It is pricey. It's on the pricier side, but yeah, happy that we got to do it. So
there you go.